guys, and welcome to another CSS tutorial. So today we're going to talk about rules and selectors. Alright, so before we get started writing all the rules, explaining what is what, just follow me here and open up an HTML document and open up one CSS. And once you've done that, go back to HTML. You can pause the video here, open those up, and come back here. So we need these two to explain everything. So in the body section, let's just write like a heading. Let's write CSS rules and selectors, and let's just write one paragraph. This is first. Paragraph. Yeah. Why do we need these? Because we need to explain the rules. Alright, so the first rule of CSS is type. Why? We'll see why. Alright, so let's just go to CSS. Let's customize this a little bit. So in heading 1, let's just write, I don't know, text align should be centered. Color should be gray there, and in paragraph let's just write text align center. Background color should be orange, and color should be green. Alright, so now that we wrote the CSS for this, go to file, go to save. Let's just find a style sheet. As you can see, CSS, SCSS less SAS. Just write CSS1 and just go save it there. And once you've done that, this is type. What is all this? So why is it type? Because it targets element types on the page. And explaining the selector part, you see H1 as heading 1 and paragraph. They are selectors, both of them. Text align or color or background color, they are all property which can be altered, and we are altering them. In what way? You see the behind that property is center, the color is gray. Again, the text align is center, the color are orange and green. Those are values. So we are assigning the value to the property which we want. So as heading, they are selectors, and we are altering the selector part in that HTML with some certain value, with changing the property. So once we've saved that, just go back in the HTML document and just let's write below the title. Alright, so skip one line, let's write link. REL. Click enter is gonna automatically create equal sign and quotation marks. Let's just write this. This is a style sheet. Location should be CSS1. Okay, that's the location of the file. And type is text dash or slash, actually, CSS. So now we've done that. Now, as you can see, by defining the types on the page using the CSS with the selectors, we define that how it should look like. So that's practically the first rule of CSS. Alright, so it's the type, because it targets element types on the page. So as that's for the first rule. Second rule, we're gonna use IDs. Now what is ID? It styles the HTML element that has the ID attribute regardless of its position in the tree. So how do we write IDs? Go to CSS and below heading and paragraph, I just write one. So how to write it? Click shift and key, hit key to have this sort of a hashtag. I don't really know how to pronounce it other way. I'm really embarrassed because of it. I'm gonna look it up definitely after this tutorial. So let's just write one. I just call it one. So let's say text align should be in the right, color should be blue, and let's say background color should be we're just gonna use we're gonna use simple commands here, nothing very extra or special. So so the color is blue. Let's put brown. Alright, so that's for the one. Now we're gonna go to the HTML, and this is the first paragraph. We're just gonna skip it and let's write another one. It's just so you can see the difference between this is a div paragraph. So as you can see, already apply the CSS. So go to the beginning of the paragraph, skip, hit space, and let's just write ID, enter, click 1. So we've assigned the division. Div stands for division, if I didn't said already, of 1. We assigned the paragraph this one section here. So go to here. As you can see, it already applied the CSS for this part right here. So this is the first paragraph, which is regular, and this is the second paragraph, which we modified. Now you can assign this to any part of your HTML document. Alright, so it's more like a adding additional customization to specific things. So as you can see, change the font to blue, the background color is brown, sort of ish, but never mind, it's pretty cool. As for the third rule, we're gonna use class. So how do we write class? Alright, so go to CSS and let's just write one. So to write a class, you didn't need to hit dot, and let's just write 2 because the previous one was 1. So again, I don't know, text align should be above was, let's say, left. Yeah, good. So the color should be black, and the background color should be yellow, and let's say font size should be 18 pixels. Alright, this is class, that's ID. So skip more, let's just write another paragraph. So let's just call it this is a class paragraph. So you already applied the CSS from the previous one. In the class paragraph, behind the letter P, hit space and write class, hit enter and click 2. As you can notice, once you write ID and that pops up the little menu, once you hit enter, it already sees the class or the ID attribute which you've created in the CSS. You couldn't see when I wrote class. For instance, let me just go back a little. So I have 1 and 2. So in the class, enter. Let's just go like this, so you can see class. Once I've hit enter, it already created the equal mark and the quotation marks. You see, it doesn't show 1 because it's an ID. It's not class. So that's a pretty cool thing using Dreamweaver. So hit 2. This is a class paragraph, and there it is. As you can see above here, all of these have the attributes, so you can assign them directly from the design and not from the code. So you can go like here, I don't know, just let's write 2. There it is, and you already created this class called 2. So as you can see, you already signed 1 and there's 2. So that's the division, it's the actually class rule. Why are all these good? I'm gonna explain it at the end of the video because we have one more rule left. Alright, just stay around. So the fourth rule that we're gonna wrap this up are descendants or descendant. What that means is that these selectors are used to select elements that are descendants of another element. So you can pretty much target any element on the page, specific elements. So let's just go and write another paragraph. Let's just write this is new paragraph for last rule. So we've got that. Let's just emphasize this. So em, go to the end of the word. So what we want is, I want to apply, for instance, so now this already has the CSS from the first one, you know, but I wanna apply this class right here, but I want this word paragraph to be this one. So how do we go to, let's just write here. So the paragraph here, it's gonna inherit to no, not that one there, but this word paragraph, I wanted to apply the word 1, the ID 1. So as you can see, this is the last one, has the class of the third one, which is class 2. But the word paragraph, which is emphasized, has the ID from the second one. So why is this descendant really great? So because you can apply certain CSS elements to specific parts. For instance, your paragraph. You know, I could remove this background in the CSS, and the word would be blue, just like any other paragraph. So for instance, you have, I don't know, certain articles. I'm just like giving this as an example. You have articles, and then you have I don't know, let's say 3 columns of articles. You have a picture on top of them. In the middle you have some text. In the bottom you have like read more link, something like that. And you can write classes or IDs to make that, for instance, paragraphs there. Certain color of certain font, alter certain things in it, and then write read more to be different color. And you can write those in 2 different classes. Like paragraphs would be like this, and this another paragraph would be like this, because that's the cool thing for assigning these selectors and applying these rules. So you can customize your CSS on the HTML document without actually typing every specific thing over and over and over. So you write 3 classes or 3 ID attributes. You assign them to make your HTML document feel more lightweight. It's simple, but yet it has that functionality that you want. So instead of writing everything step by step, you just apply classes or IDs, or even descendant selectors in your CSS. So to summarize this all up, we have 4 rules, which are type, ID, class, and descendant. Selectors, like I've said, headings, paragraphs, and so on, they are selectors. Now the thing that we want to alter something is font size, color, background color, positioning. That's the property to which we're going to assign value. So everything you write behind the property, such as orange, center, 18 pixels, and so on, that's the value that we are assigning to the property that is going to be applied to the selector that we have assigned it to. So that is pretty great. Why do we use them? So we don't have to write every piece of CSS over and over and over, because using the type selectors you can target just specific things. Using the ID, you can be more certain of what you want to be targeted. Using the class as well, and the descendant targets certain specific things on the page, and they are really helpful for you to apply certain styling elements to your HTML document without losing any sort of consistency or being difficult to write an HTML document step by step. So that's it for the CSS rules and selectors. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial, and stay awesome.
Yeah.